Hi there. I'm Nick. I'm a middle-aged, overweight, academic administrator, professional type guy. I work in education, and my interests include kayaking, triathlon, working out, and music. So I thought to myself, because I've had so many false starts on YouTube channels, what am I going to do with my time in order to just create amusing YouTube videos? Because I don't have enough going on already. I am a published author, if you can say that. I've self-published a lot of stuff. I'm a doctor, so I have written a dissertation that's currently gathering dust in a library not too far from here. And between all of that, I've enjoyed pursuing different things as a means of relieving stress. So in the past, I've had false starts on YouTube around ideas about productivity, around ideas on parenting, around ideas on becoming self-sufficient, doing different things. So basically, I'm just a student in all kinds of different things and interests, and I've always sort of considered myself a jack of all trades but master of none. That's a very cliche way of putting it, but I like a lot of different things. I'm not really good at any one thing. But then I thought to myself, those individuals that are really good at particular things maybe have created this perception on YouTube of these things just sort of being out of reach, or maybe not. So let's talk about music, because that's what I want to talk about now, and that's what I want to kind of develop, is this idea of just pursuing an interest and just, having fun with it. I spend, percentage-wise, if I look at my free available fun money, like, what's not going towards bills, or, that I'm investing in different, things like, home repairs and stuff like that. Things that you need, basically. So the nice to haves. As far as the nice to haves for me, I've spent a lot of money in the past on things for triathlon equipment. So I have a decent tri-bike. I have a nice wetsuit. I've gone through tons of shoes, accessories, special bottle cages, bottle mounts, aero this, ultra lightweight that, upgrades and everything else. But that doesn't really hold a candle to the amount of money I've spent over my lifetime from about the time I was, say, 12 on musical gear. And I would say guitar gear, but I've also had drums, I've also had keyboards, bass, I have a violin, I have all kinds of stuff like that. I mean, of that, percentage-wise, it's mainly been guitar. But why do I spend so much money on that stuff if I'm not going to pursue it professionally? I've recorded in the past, but I haven't really done anything with it. It certainly hasn't been a monetization type thing, but it's just been fun. So why spend money on something that's not really going to generate any sort of financial return if that's the case? Well, it's just plain enjoyable to make a bunch of noise with the guitar and have it sound decent and to become better at playing guitar. So that's kind of what I wanted to talk about, basically. I thought about all the different things I've talked about and done in the past, and different interests I've had at different points in my life, but guitar has sort of been, or I won't even say guitar, I'll say music, has been sort of the overarching thread or theme that I've sort of gone back to throughout my entire life. Beginning at an early age with having my own stereo, a little boombox basically, and listening to cassette tapes, and then from there sort of building this collection of music that I liked, and then figuring out, oh Jesus, I can pick up a guitar and try to learn to play some of that stuff and emulate that just for the sheer enjoyment of it. Or be in a band and just enjoy playing with other people and creating like a groove, and just kind of just having fun with it. So that's what I am going to talk about. That's what this is going to be. It's going to be sort of an everyman's guide to those musical things, and I can talk about where I've gone or where I've come from as a person who plays instruments. I wouldn't call myself a musician. I wouldn't call myself anything in that sort of capacity. I'm a dabbler. So these are the sorts of things where I buy all kinds of different pedals because they make cool noises. I have different guitar amps, and I've had tons of different guitar amps in the past because they have different things that they all do that are kind of nice and unique and fun. And I've had tons of different guitars because I've just learned about how to use guitars and how to modify guitars, how to restore guitars, how to destroy guitars, because that's all part of the learning experience. So this is really about music as a learning experience and as a platform for just pursuing your own interests and just investing a little bit of money in things you enjoy, because at the end of the day, that's kind of what it's about. We're just here to enjoy things and to be productive and to contribute and everything else. But it's okay for us to take time for ourselves and pursue these interests. So I've gained knowledge on gear over time. I've tried different things. And this is just a little bit about trying different things, and how you can sort of advance, your own level of skill or proficiency in doing, more of this musical stuff, playing guitar, playing drums or whatever. But it's also about some of the pitfalls, it's about some of the I wish I would have known type stuff, because I think there's a ton of great reviews out on YouTube and a ton of great people that are doing amazing things with showing off equipment, and they sit in these amazing home studios, or they have these rig reviews before they're doing a live gig, and they've got they're being interviewed on all of this stuff they have, and it's not necessarily accessible to the end consumer, that average guy, unless that average guy has a lot of disposable income, which I don't. Because I have so many interests, I have to really portion out those specific investments in those various interests. So, in addition to guitar, there's other things that I'm interested in. I just bought a kayak last weekend, so that would have been money that I would have put towards an amp that I'm considering buying. But now I can't figure out whether that's really the amp that I want, so I'm back to YouTube trying to figure out different stuff. And then I think back to amps that I've had and I don't have anymore, and I kick myself because I try to sell equipment in order to create revenue to buy new equipment to sort of chase the dragon and fund this habit of mine. And it's kind of counterproductive, because sometimes I get rid of stuff and I'm like, I really shouldn't have done that. So this is just about that. It's about, equipment that I've invested in that I just am not happy with. Some of it I just can't bring myself to get rid of, because I think, well, maybe I'm just not using it to its fullest capacity or giving it enough of a chance. So this is about that. This is about the idea of trying to create a home studio just for the sake of having a space where you can be comfortable pursuing this interest and have a place you can go where this stuff is set up and you can be in that environment. So this is all that. This is all those different things, and we'll see what comes of it, because I don't really even have any followers right now, so that's all fine and good, but it's just a chance to kind of have some fun. So we'll see where it goes, and hopefully I can begin to gain some traction and move these videos in a good direction. But for those of you who might have stumbled upon my channel in the past for any number of reasons, that's what it's about today.